So before we do warm-ups, quick look at the calendar. Wednesday or Thursday is block day this week, so you do have late arrival. We'll have a quiz and over yesterday's stuff and today's stuff. But we'll have, since it's block day, we'll have time beforehand to go over any questions you have, and then we'll take the quiz over just the 2 days worth of stuff, the sum and difference angles. And today we're doing sum and difference as well, just with a different type of problem. So quiz tomorrow, but very much like the homework, and we'll have time to go over things beforehand. So I think you'll be okay. All right, for warm-ups, it's sort of a partial warm-up, a partial problem. The question is, what unit circle values add or subtract, you can do it either way, to get 11 pi over 12, 19 pi over 12, 13 pi over 12. So it's related to what we did yesterday, but instead of doing the sine and cosine and tangent with them, because that gets a little tedious, I think the hardest part for many students is figuring out, well, how do I get, what adds to 11 pi over 12? How do I do that? Again, you can't subtract, but since these are big numbers, adding is probably the way to go. And you probably want to start with the equivalence, because I think that makes it a lot easier. Because just staring at over 6 over 4 over 3 over 2, that's not real helpful. But if we put them all over 12, then I think it's a lot easier to figure out, well, what does it take to get to 11 over 12, or 19 over 12, or 13 over 12. So I think we actually did 11 over 12 yesterday. So try those three. Remember, you can only use two values, but you can use multiple of these values. And there's usually more than one correct way to do it. So give those a try, and we'll come back and go over them in a minute. All right, let's go over these. So to get to 11 over 12, well, the biggest I can get with just one of them, or without multiplying, is the 10. So that didn't do much good. So I'm going to need to have a multiple of somebody. Let's see, I could do 3 of these. So 3 pi over 4s. That would get me to 9. And 1 pi over 6. That would be 2 more. And that would get me to 11. That's one way to do it. It's not the only way to do it. Another way would be, let's see, you could do 2 of these, because that would get you to 8. 2 pi over 3. And then you would need a pi over 4. 8 plus 3 would get you to 11. And maybe this makes sense, but the bigger the number, so like 19 pi over 12, the bigger the number, the more ways there are to get there. So to get to 19, let's see. If you're ever stuck, I think I remember that you can always use one of these, because that would get you, because it's an odd number, and all of these are always odd numbers, or else they would reduce. So to take care of the odd number, you can always start with pi over 4 and then figure out what's left. So pi over 4 is 3/12, which means I need, 16/12 to get there, to get to 19. But 16/12 reduces by 4 to 4 pi over 3. So pi over 4 is sort of a key to this deal. It's one way to work the problem. One way is, like we did yesterday, just kind of figure it out and play with the numbers. It's a puzzle, figure it out, that's fine. The other way, if you're having trouble, the figure it out method is always use pi over 4 and then just figure out what else you need. So if I always use pi over 4, let's see, that's 3 over 12, which means I need 10 more over 12. And then 10 twelfths reduces to 5 over 6. And so warm-ups to just practice splitting up a weird thing that's not quite on the unit circle but comes from unit circle things. And then we could use our formulas to find sine, cosine, or tangent of any of those three things. But this, I feel like, is sometimes the hardest part of the lesson from yesterday, is how do I split up, or how do I turn one angle into two that uses the right pieces. And so I wanted to practice that a little bit more. All right, let's look at